are animals everywhere walking along the streets that have been abandoned, hurt, or neglected. Animal abuse is composed of multiple types of cruelty, and action should be taken to stop it. I've worked with animals my entire life. I currently work at a grooming and boarding facility where I see many cases of abuse and neglect. I have researched animal abuse thoroughly for years in hopes of saving just one animal from the horror of being abused. I am an animal lover through and through, and I have dedicated much of my time to preventing abuse. First, I will talk about active and passive physical abuse. Second, I will discuss the different kinds of animal fighting, which are dog fighting and cock fighting. Finally, I will speak about animal hoarding, the beliefs and the living conditions. First, I will tell you a little bit about the physical abuse of animals. There are many faces of animal cruelty. We have all seen cats and dogs wandering the streets in search of food, but have you ever thought about where they came from or why they are there? The pound may sound like heaven compared to the streets, but take it from me. The pound is a place of horror and sadness. According to Anna Sequoia, who wrote 67 Ways to Save the Animals, only 14 out of every 100 dogs and 9 out of every 100 cats in an animal shelter will ever find a home. Many animal shelters will assure you that when you drop a pet off, it will have many days to live. The cold, hard truth is for most of those animals is that they have seen the last outside for the last time. They will be led to the back of the facility to be put to sleep. For those few that are not put to sleep, they are placed in a kennel and are given a week at most to live. Anna Sequoia has also said that anywhere from 7.5 million to 20 million dogs and cats are destroyed each year, and the numbers are only rising. There are two types of physical animal abuse that animals suffer from in and out of animal shelters. These two types are active abuse and passive abuse. I will begin by informing you about active abuse. Active abuse is when a person intentionally causes harm to an animal. The founder of PetAbuse.com, Allison Gianotto, has written various articles on active abuse. She has said that active cruelty involves acts of commission. This type of cruelty is mainly referred to as NAI, or non-accidental injury. Behavior usually associated with active cruelty is sociopathic and has the most disturbing signs of psychological problems. Abusive parents or domestic partners are typically responsible for enforcing active cruelty. They may threaten to kill pets in order to intimidate family members. Many of these abusive people consider this as flexing their power. The second type of abuse is passive abuse, which involves acts of omission or lack of action. There is no pain actually inflicted onto the animal, but the animal still suffers greatly. Anna Gianotto has said that starvation is the number one type of passive cruelty, in which an animal slowly deteriorates from lack of food. Since this type of animal abuse usually occurs from ignorance, investigators try to help the owner of the animal understand what they are doing wrong. Investigators then revisit the owner, and if the situation has not improved, then they remove the animal from their homes and take them in for urgent medical care. Passive abuse is fairly easy to detect, Gianotto stated. Animals that have been neglected are typically very skinny, dehydrated, infested with parasites, have ingrown collars, have inadequate shelter, and lack proper medical care. Overpopulation of cats and dogs is also considered passive cruelty. When animal owners do not get their pets spayed or neutered and allow them to go outside around other animals, they are running the risk of letting their pet get pregnant or impregnating another. In addition to physical abuse, we also need to look at animal fighting, which comes in as a close second to the inhumane suffering of animals. Animal fighting is where two or more animals are forced to fight in a pit or other arena for entertainment and to make money. Many different types of animals are used to fight, but the two main types of animal fighting are dog fighting and cock fighting. Ken Masters Evans, author of the book Animal Rights, has said that in the United States, dog fighting is an illegal, multi-million-dollar gambling industry that is often associated with gangs, auto theft, arms smuggling, money laundering, and drug trafficking. Pit bulls are typically the most used dogs in dog fighting. These friendly animals are not aggressive by nature, but because they are protective of their owners, have powerful bodies and strong jaws, they are able to be bred and trained to display aggressive behavior towards other dogs. Dog fighting can go on for hours, or at least until one of the dogs dies or the owner admits defeat. Evans says that fighting dogs are usually judged on their gameness, or a dog's willingness to fight and its reluctance to back down from a fight. Selective breeding, grueling, and cruel training methods increase gameness. Small kittens are used as bait to these fighting dogs. Owners place the kittens on a treadmill and release the dogs to catch the kitten and eventually kill the small defenseless animal. Cockfighting is very similar to dogfighting. Cockfighting, like dogfighting, is used for placing bets and entertaining. Cockfighting consists of two or more roosters fighting until the death. A cock is the adult male rooster who is used in cockfighting. This type of fighting is considered a blood sport because the roosters are mutilated and killed during fights. Both Evans and Anna Briggs, writer of the book Because We Love Them, a handbook for animal lovers, tells us that gamecocks are armed with gas, which are sharp spikes fitted to the rooster's legs. These sharp fighting weapons are used to gouge out the eyes, tear open the breast, puncture the lungs, and break the bones of the opponent. A cockfight begins with two roosters being thrown into a pit together. Fights can last anywhere from 10 minutes to a half hour. These fights end in the death of one rooster and the severe injuring of the winner. Not only does animal fighting qualify as the type of animal use, but so does animal hoarding. Animal hoarding is the collecting of animals, usually consisting of hundreds in one facility. Whether it is a warehouse or a home, living conditions are unbearable and extremely unhealthy. Hoarding animals can take place anywhere and everywhere. Your own neighbor could be a hoarder and you may not even know it. The animals that are hoarded are usually dogs and cats. These animals are typically found in homes or places called puppy mills. According to Kim Masters Evans, most hoarders start out with good intentions by taking in a few strays to care for, but the situation can quickly grow out of control as the animals breed or the person takes in more and more animals. These animals are often kept inside the home where they leave waste and urine in even the smallest places. The conditions of hoarding can be horrifying. Dead, mummified animals have been found lying around homes, in refrigerators, and embedded into the carpeting. Animals living in these homes suffer from malnourishment, illness, inactivity, poor ventilation, and lack of human companionship while living in cages, crates, hutches, and kitchen cabinets, says Gianotto. Hoarders are oblivious to these horrible living conditions and that they are putting their health along with the pet's health in danger. Most hoarders will never admit that the severe overcrowding is unsanitary and unhealthy. The conditions of puppy mills are just as bad, if not worse, than hoarding in homes. Puppy mills are facilities where hundreds of animals are placed into small cages and are forced to reproduce for their entire lives. The book, Because We Love Them, a handbook for animal lovers, explains that puppy mill kennels usually consist of small wood and wire mesh cages, empty crates, or trailer cabs, all kept outdoors where female dogs are bred continuously. The mother and the puppies often suffer from malnutrition, exposure, and lack of veterinary care. Breeding continuously takes its toll on the female dogs. When their bodies give out and are unable to produce enough puppies, they are shot, hung, or buried alive. Have you ever visited a pet store that had puppies for sale? When you saw those puppies, did you stop to think about where they came from? Pet stores usually do not go to their local animal shelter and adopt. Instead, they buy puppies from puppy mills. Anna Sequoia researched and found the interesting fact that approximately 360,000 to 500,000 dogs sold in pet shops each year come from puppy mills. Young puppies are taken away from their mothers at the puppy mills at the young age of 4 weeks. These puppies are then sold to brokers who pack them in crates for transport. Each crate is filled to the brim with puppies. Many of the puppies cannot move and are shipped so tightly that what little fur they have is crushed out of the sides of the crate. In the shipping process, puppies are rarely fed or watered. They arrive at their destination only to be moved into another crate where they will wait until a person comes along and pays the right price for them. In conclusion, animal cruelty is caused by inhumane people around the world who get satisfaction out of harming animals. Animal cruelty consists of anything from a cat being forced out into the streets to an animal fighting until its death. Animals were not put on the earth to suffer and die shamelessly. We as humans have to be their voice. They cannot speak up and tell us their needs and their wants. We have to treat them humanely and give them the respect that they deserve. Anyone can help these poor creatures for suffering another day just by providing safe and healthy living conditions, along with plenty of food and water. If you have a pet, go home and give them the biggest hug possible because they deserve a happy and healthy life as all of us do. Remember, the kindness one does for an animal may not change the world, but it will change the world for that one animal. I really appreciate your attention and hope that you will join me in fighting the cause to end animal abuse.